Hello and welcome to the Red Bull Analyst Desk for our third place match with Casually Reformed versus Joe's Big Biceps. With me today, I have the overloaded Analyst Desk, to say the least, including the entire roster of GFG. We've got Funky D or Stefano and Dinsbag all on the cast today. So, how are you guys doing?
Doing great.
Not bad, not bad.
Can't complain.
Good.
Yeah, we got Cirrus on the left there. We got Swark on right in the middle, and we got Bog on the right. I think Dirty Phil and Zizzers are in the building as well too. They at least were around a little bit earlier. We might see them hopping up or
Walking
wagging.
in and out of frame.
Well, yeah, walking in and out of frame occasionally,
We'll
and
make it happen.
yeah, we'll need to get their opinions at some point as well here too. So, as far as it goes on that end, though, let's get right into taking a look at our matchups for the third place match with Casually Reformed and Joe's Big Biceps. We've been anticipating this one for a little bit now. We looking forward, of course, towards the finals. But first things first, we got to really determine who's going to be taking that third place prize. There is Red Bull on the line, needless to say. And as you know, it does give you wings.
The real prize is the Red Bull you gain along the way.
It's very true.
Exactly. Yeah. It actually tastes like summer in here. Like you just drink it and you're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
summer.
It perforates the air, and it binds us, brings us together. Now let's talk about what are what are contested matchups that we got going on here. I would like to know everyone's opinion on this. We can go individually, and Stefano's got some glitches going on with his mic or his video here, but what are the matchups that we're looking forward to seeing in this? Or maybe mismatches, anything that we might see as point of contentions on the map. If we could go through individually here, let's go back to front. Dins, I want to start with you. Considering that, unfortunately, you did happen to, I guess for one, release a diss track, not even addressing who you were going against, really. If you really consider the first one to be part of that. And then afterwards...
The first one was there just, yeah.
Sorry to blame, but I want to know what your opinion lies on for this matchup here, knowing the team that knocked you out has hit this point here and gotten to third place, or at least is going for third place. What are the matchups that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, so when I saw that JBB lost to Bar, I was actually surprised, because it's when we look at JBB, I feel like we need to look at their playoffs performance, because in the regular season, I guess they're just kind of like finding themselves. But playoffs, they really, like, you could see that was a whole different team.
Yes.
Just from like the jungler switching to top, like finding what worked for them, just like accelerated their strength as a team to like new heights. Like you heard on their post game interview, like their top laner is a very lane dominant person, probably the most lane dominant jungler in the league. But he was definitely very strong. He played against Scoop Lord, he played against me, and we both were like, this guy's something else. So with that being said, I feel like he's gonna show up again today, definitely taking over top lane. And I personally thought that from that playoffs match that they were a way stronger team than Birds Aren't Real, but they ended up losing to them. So that was a big surprise for me. So I don't personally, like, if I'm being honest, no flame, I don't think CR really stands a chance against this JVV roster. Just really like across the board, honestly.
All right. It's a lot of points thrown over for JBB. Stefano, I want to get your opinion though. Where do you think they lie in the terms of power levels, in discrepancies that we're looking at here? Do you think, based off of what Dinza said, do you think that CR stands a chance even then if we're throwing them up against Bar? Because as rough it is to say, and as much as I enjoy both sides of these teams here, I do gotta say, and we'll get to them next, GFG did kind of roll through CR, with lack of a better way of putting it, and I'm sure they could attest to it in some way with being on the desk here. So I want to know what your opinion is.
Um, honestly, I don't think CR is gonna have too rough of a time. My focus is going to be on mid lane. We've seen Royal on his very unconventional picks, you know, on Mordekaiser specifically, but really just on any kind of bruiser mage. He's able to bully his lane opponent so well, and if he can get a lead, then he's going to be able to exploit it and win off of it. And whereas you look on JBB, the Birdman, well, a good player, has traditionally given up some leads early game. He's very, very good at playing with his team, playing around his team. He's where he needs to be past like the 25, 30-minute mark. But before that, if Royal can get a lead, I think Royal absolutely has the potential to carry this game.
All right. I like that opinion. Now, we have 3 separate people to go through over here, but I'd like them to give their collective opinion as a team, of course. Let's take a look and see, who do you guys favor? As far as it goes, and like you guys had watched the matches leading up to this, of course, I would assume you guys would have studied Bar, considering your interview previously that we had with Swark here. And you guys have the experience against CR, and you guys have the expectation to go against Bar in the first place, which means that, at least on some level, you guys got to consider making assumptions that you guys think less of JBB, at least in that aspect. But how do you guys weigh them against Casually Reformed here? So maybe start with James. Yeah, let's start with Cirrus.
So when we first played JBB in the first couple weeks, they had a completely different roster and or like they were just playing different roles. Recently, Sacknet's gone up to top lane, which has looked to dramatically change their play style and how they're currently playing the game. Based off what happened to Dins in their matchup, it looks like they're playing more of a top lane dominant game with how much Kid Corito played around the top lane. So with how we played CR, I would say that their weak point is a top lane. So I would agree with Dins that that's going to be a lane of contention in the next game's contention.
Yeah, so when we, like James said, like we played against JVB, they were a completely different team, completely different roster, completely different play style, and like Dan said, they've probably found themselves by now. So I'm glad to hear that. Where I was kind of looking at these two going off against each other is I know a lot more about CR. I know their strengths and their weaknesses. I'm going to be watching like mid lane, bottom lane, and then seeing how jungle plays around that and top plays around that. I think that those are the 2 lanes to watch, is mid and bot. But hearing that JVB's come a long way is good news, and I don't really know who I'm putting my coins with, like, at this point. See what happens.
All right, and Bog, what do you got?
I think for CR to have a chance here, they need to just sack top lane, put Daniel on Scion Malphite duty, and really play around Harley and Murphy in the bot lane. So I think those 2 are their strongest players and their best chance to win the series.
I don't think they can hear you on stream.
Yeah, I think because you launched League took a
Yeah, okay. That was all my opinion. I just said all of it, and nothing happened with it. So let's.
We heard you though, don't worry.
Yeah, everybody else heard me, so that's what matters. I essentially I agreed with everything that
Great
I
content.
agree with everything that GFG said to a certain point. Daniel Weekside is a much better option there, and
Yeah, they still
Yeah.
can't hear you though.
still can't hear me. It's fantastic.
I mean, I can reiterate what you're saying. Basically, you're saying like I think all the teams that have played against the GFG guys just identified that Daniel isn't the best carry top laner. He's a really good weak side player, you know. And they like CR has no problems putting him on Ornn, Malphite, Sion. Like he's played those champs a ton. So you were just saying that you think that's going to be their biggest chance to win, and that you felt like against when they played GFG, the putting Daniel on a carry top was part of their undoing.
Very much
Is
so,
that
and I'm not sure if you guys
as
can
well?
hear me. It's somewhat showing on here.
Oh, okay. I think they can hear you on stream now. Oh no, wait, no.
No,
But I
you
can
guys
hear
don't
you.
need to hear me. That's what I'm coming up to. Just get me out of the picture here. We got everyone else's opinions out of the way. We're good to go
Yeah,
from there.
that take
Sorry,
that take
I'm.
was Lucan's, not mine. I was just repeating it. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
It was all that Din said. Din was totally projecting that.
He said that like Dinsbag was like the best player in the league, and he just started going off about something like that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it was
His
yeah,
words,
it was
not mine.
I think he said something like Dinsbag is also just like a super attractive individual.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was something like that. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
And he
The
said he needs
supreme
to reach
clothes
out to
really
Steam for
get
a
to me. You know,
sponsorship.
it really brings up
Yeah.
the attractiveness.
Here, let me just take a quick drink of water.
All right. As far as it goes with that, I am looking to see if we can head into draft here with some sort of idea of maybe what sort of picks we're going to be picking up here. What do we think we can expect from here? If I'm throwing out my prediction first here, I'm going to throw this out there. I do not think that CR should let Sacknut get Lee Sin. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that was his main champion, and as far as the patch has gone, I do believe that it was nerfed in some way, but is it enough to maybe change the fact that Sacknut has displayed a pretty solid performance on that many times at this point now?
Well, I think yeah, Lee Sin's definitely gonna be a big pick. Also, I remember someone from JBB in their interview mentioned that Sacknut's also like a historically like a Riven one trick main kind of thing. And so like I think that's his most comfortable champ too. So probably not gonna want to let him have the Riven and Lee Sin. He definitely had a lot of moves when he pulled out the Riven against us. And then I know their bot lane loves playing Tristana. So that's gonna be another ADC you might want to worry about. And then their jungler, I think they're like obsessed with Volibear. Like Kid Kirito loves playing Volibear. He loves just like diving the tower with the ult to disable it, and some even if you put like, for example, if you go to the strategy of like Daniel playing like an Ornn or something like that, the Volibear can help still be able to let their top lane get ahead just from that ultimate ability, disabling the turret and letting Sacknut get some kills off of some dives top lane. So even if you're put on a weak side, it still could be hard with a jungler like Volibear to stop those 2v1 dives from happening. Yeah.
I believe so. We've been having a lot of technical difficulties behind the scene, with the classic League of Legends client, small indie company. But I think the players are ready, so we should be getting into draft momentarily. Yeah, both teams say they're ready, and yeah, here we are.
Let's
It's
go in a
CR
draft.
on the blue side and JBB on the red side.
Let's get pumped. Woo.
All right, so for first ban, you guys were expecting the Riven to take away from Sacknet. JBB answering with the Jinx ban, not wanting the bot lane of CR with Bahuoto and GG denied. Who we've seen multiple times. GG denied is a really good player when he gets ahead, and especially on these hyper carries, he can carry. So a smooth ban there by JBB.
Yeah, I think both these teams definitely have good bot lanes. It's hard to say which one is better, but they're definitely both at a pretty high level. So I think JBB is definitely going to be banning a lot of those lane oriented champs. Surprised about the Rise though.
I actually really like the Rise van. Royal played Rise against us in one of our games, and he's really good on that champ. I was actually pretty worried he was almost going to solo carry the game. So I really like that ban, honestly.
And
Okay.
continuing, Swark said, targeting Royal on his 2 carry champions to be Rise and Cassio in the first 3 bans is something we prioritized. Something we realized was a problem. So ideally, I'd like to see them pick up a champion for Royal in the first 3 picks here, because we squeezed his champion pool when we were playing them because they wouldn't pick him out in the first 3 picks. So ideally, we see that come through.
Alright,
Are
wait a
we?
second. He's a carry mid laner with a Rise and Cassio as his 2 picks. Where have I heard that before? Where did you learn that?
And we actually have the iconic pick for Joe's Big Biceps. I haven't seen it in
Wow.
all of this entire playoff bracket at all. The one that he's the mid laner is actually named after, the Birdmang picking up a Nivea, and then another priority put onto the Kaisa. With Lulu put on the left-hand side, Bog, I want to know your opinion on this. I've heard you talk about Lulu a couple of times here, but I want to get your insight here on how you think that Murphy will be able to pick this up, because I do have an opinion on this as well.
I think with the Lulu pick here, they're going to be looking to pair it with possibly a Kog'Maw. When we were scouting for CR for our match last weekend, we saw that Harley was there. It is. He's playing a lot of Kog'Maw, and that tank Kog'Maw build right now is super strong, especially with the Lulu.
There, and they got with the Kog'Maw and the Lulu here.
Ooh,
Zach
Zach.
pick up.
taking after Schwark. I gotta get Schwark's opinion. How are you feeling?
Like a GFG team comp.
Oh.
honestly.
Yeah.
Enjoying the CR basket.
So
Zachary
Swark,
picked up
what is what's your opinion on the Zach pick?
Oh, I love the Zach pick. Like it doesn't really. We can't really see how well it's going to go into that team comp against Teemo and Nivea. Kaisa can kind of work her way around the Zach ganks, especially with the Leona. But that Anivia is going to really be kind of scary in mid lane. Like if Zach comes flying out, Anivia doesn't have a whole lot to deal with, unless if she gets some kind of crazy Q or wall off right before and times it well. But it's kind of a scary pick against that Nivea for sure.
I completely agree there. And as we're looking towards the second rotation of bans, they are going to be banning out Royal again. You did speak about this in the fact that we should be seeing earlier picks in the draft picked up for Royal so that his champ pool doesn't get as pinched. And I got to agree on that. As far as it goes, one of the things that I attributed, not entirely to your win, of course, but the thing that really suppressed Royal being as much of an impact on his team was the fact that you can just pinch his champ pool out in the second rotation here. And Aurelia and Silas are 2 of his main carry picks that he does like to pull out here. So with Lee Sin being taken away, we already know that the top side is where they're likely going to be putting a little bit of focus on, and taking away 2 of the main carries on that front is going to be something. And Nunu being taken away as well too, it does eliminate some of that heavy gank pressure that we could see coming from, I believe it's Kid Kirito who's stepping into the jungle for this game here.
Yeah, we've seen Kid Credo on Nunu a few times before earlier in the season. He's very proficient on it, an absolute ganking machine, and I understand why you want that. Someone that doesn't necessarily have protein ganks like Zach does in the early game, and that's a Teemo that was picked.
Interesting.
Oh my
Not real.
god, they
What?
did it.
So, getting the opinion here, what's everyone's opinion on the Teemo pick? Because I don't have words for how that's going to turn out.
I think they're
I
just
think
trying
it
to
might be an
flex.
ego pick. honestly.
So an interesting dynamic between the Zach and the Teemo, right? I don't want to tip off CR a little bit too much, but is that auto attack, right? And the blind interaction. So we'll see how he plays around it. He's gonna have to hit those cues. So it's kind of interesting in that regard. And we'll see who CR picks for the top laner for it to match up against.
Well, we already know that I would at least hope. I'm really hoping that it is a Royal Mordekaiser, and that we're going to be seeing some form of a tank, or that works as well too. very much a bruiser slash tank pick that we can see here, but I do currently like the picks here from CR. Just because of the Teemo pick, I do kind of give an advantage over to Casually Reformed. Outside of that, though, I don't know if I've seen the Trundle Gnar matchup before. There's a lot of new aspects that are being brought to this pick ban phase for
Uh,
sure.
The Trundle's jungle though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it
Yeah,
is.
Trundle-
Sorry, yeah,
Trundle
no,
is
sorry.
going to be into the Zap.
Yeah.
You
In
never
that
know. Maybe
video
Teemo is
company.
going jungle. Might be
Schwartz
someone's-
can
It's
correct
possible.
me on this, but I believe this is a very favorable matchup for Trundle because you can just pillar the Zac out of his E with relative ease. So Schwartz is the expert on this one.
Yeah, that's a huge factor to play into this matchup now. The only weird thing about Trundle, like Trundle isn't a super strong pick right now. He's typically used as kind of a counter pick against heavy armor and magic resist champions. So Zac is going to get that when he goes Aftershock, but not super reliant on the armor or magic resist portion. It's mainly going to be max health damage coming out. So I don't really know how much I'd like the pick, but there's going to be some interesting interactions with that.
I know. Well, we'll definitely need to see how this one all interacts and comes together. As far as it goes, though, I think we have an interesting match, needless to say, ahead of us here, especially with the the ego play by the Teemo versus Gnar. Really, really putting Daniel on the spot for can he handle the cheesy Teemo pick. So we'll definitely need to see how that plays out. But as far as that goes here, I'm going to bring it over to our competitive integrity break while we hopefully figure out everything else for the technical difficulties we've been having. And we'll get back with you guys in probably the next 3 minutes here. We'll see how it goes. Talk to you guys in a bit.
Okay, I think we're in game.
Yeah, all right. Welcome everyone to game 1 of the bronze medal match between JBB and CR. And what I want to talk about right off the bat is that it looks like GG Denied, normally the AD carry player for Joe's Big Biceps, is choosing to go top lane with Sacknut, normally the top laner, switching off and playing Kaisa in the ADC role.
Yeah, I feel like Sacknut's just getting passed around every role at this point. I think maybe the strategy is that I feel like Sacknut is their strongest player, so they're making him match the strength of the other team. Because I feel like CR's strength is their bot lane. So it could be that they're sending Sacknut down there to deal with Harley and Murphy, and then just putting GG Denied up there on a comfort champ, I guess, on Teemo.
Yeah, you know what? It's basically an AD carry, but in the top lane, so it shouldn't be too bad. Noticeably, he did take the ignite compared to
Mhm.
the teleport of Daniel. There still is a similar mismatch in the mid lane with Royal taking ignite and the Birdman taking TP, but that does mean that it is going to be Daniel or Gnar versus Nivea in the side lane for the split push.
Yeah, I feel like the Teemo can definitely come out on top if you're just a good Teemo. And in the mid lane, I feel like this is a really tough lane for Mordekaiser. He can get harassed pretty easily by mages, and Anivia's a pretty annoying champ. That's why we banned her in 100% of our games. So this is going to be a very tough one for the Mordekaiser mid lane, because it's going to be hard to get onto that Anivia, and with all the poke and control that Anivia brings to the table. Could be a really good lane for the Bird Mang on his signature Anivia.
Yeah,
But I
I
think,
think this is
yeah, what we're really gonna have to look out for is this bot lane. This is where it's really all gonna go down, because
Yeah,
I
and-
feel like whoever bot lane comes out on top from this is gonna be the team that wins.
Yeah, and we can see here, CR getting the early level 2 against Fiona Kaisa isn't necessarily what you want to see, but here comes Sean into the mid lane. The Birdman's just going to casually fly away from that, not have too much of an issue with it, but early aggression already by the side of CR, both in bot lane and in
Hmm. Yeah, we see that Harley and Murphy are getting a little bit of an early lead. Definitely a health advantage right now, so pushing in a pretty big wave here. It's gonna be well. Actually, if GG Nide manages to get
Kid
or sorry,
Corrito
Stack-
here.
Oh,
He's actually taking away the blue buff now. He's bullying Sean. The auto attack's going to keep falling. Last slingshot's going to go out, and he's not going to make it in time. Pass is being popped. Both the top laners are coming down. Bang on them. Royal and Daniel are there first, though. Is going into him, and he's not going to take out
lives.
Sean in time. Kid Corito going a little bit too far. It's going to be first blood. GG Knight's going to flash in order to get the kill onto the Zac. But now it's a 2-for-1 so far. Royal still huge. Daniel still alive. 2-0 Royal. His double buffs are already on him. His abilities are going to be coming up soon. He's very close to the Birdman. Few hits, but it's not going to go for the kill. A huge lead for Royal in the mid lane after that skirmish.
so I'm gonna say that just made the Mordekaiser's lane a lot easier. Not gonna be as tough as originally thought it was. My earlier thought there was that Harley was getting a bit of a CS advantage to start off.
Hit
Oh,
Corito going on to Royal. Royal's just going to insta-flash the pillar. Probably a good call. Doesn't want to give those double buffs over. But now we see Mahuoto going on to Murphy in the bottom lane. But Saknat is so pushed out, it's going to force the heal out of him. Great heal. That was very, very close. As the Birdman flashes in to get the stun onto Royal. He lands it. Pull's going to come in, going to pull Kid Corito on her. The shield's going to go on. Kid Corito continues to chase. Ignite goes down, and Royal with outplay. 2v1. He's 3-0 at 4 minutes. Royal's in complete control of this mid lane.
oh my lord. Yeah, you saw that normally if you were I would have that's exactly what I would have done. I feel like some Mordekaiser players, if you're not used to the champion, would have been scared there. Oh, and another thing.
And he's under tower. 4-0 on Royal. And this is what I was talking about in Champ Select. If Royal gets ahead, Royal stays ahead and gets further ahead. Even now, potentially looking for a dive on the bot. The Queen of the Plate is going to go land onto Murphy. There is going to be the cooldown. Now, Bahuoto's rather far up. There's no heal available. One more to do it, but doesn't make it. Has to flash out. Still very low. Kid Corito and Sean are both in the area with the Scuttle Crab, but it looks like they're not going to go for a fight. Kid Corito's going to concede the Scuttle Crab, and a nice play by what is normally a rather weak bot lane of Kog'Maw Lulu.
Yeah, so I think I just lost all my channel points on the gamble. The Royal definitely knows the limits of this champion very, very well. You saw that Kid Corito was just a way too thirsty. As soon as he flashed out, it was pretty much done. They tried to go back again. Nivea got the stun off, but he was so close to his tower that it didn't really matter. And the thing about Mordekaiser is he turns around situations like that so quickly because that disruption that he has with his E, it pulls you in or can push you away, and that made it so that he easily won that 1v2. And then Anivia was staying again because he was low, but
Sean
Royal
here
knows his
again.
champion well. Coming
Flash,
into the
no
game.
passive. Ult gets cancelled, and that's a dead Burnmang. He does have TP, so he will be able to TP back to lane if he wants, but even still, another kill onto Royal is not what you want. So smart by Sean to capitalize, knowing there's no flash, there's no passive. Well played by Casual Reformed.
Yeah, I think at this point what we're gonna see is a lot of JVB trying to kill Royal, and they're gonna misjudge. I think crucially they're gonna be misjudging his W like they did earlier. Just when you think Mordekaiser's about to die, he pops his W and he has a big shield, and that's been very crucial in these early fights where he's gotten these 5 kills. It looks like he might give over that shutdown. He pops that W, gets just enough shielding, turns it around, gets the kill. And the more fed you get on Mordekaiser, the more important that shield's going to be, and the stronger it's going to be, and just the harder and harder it's going to be for this Mordekaiser to be killed.
Yeah, it's exponentially snowballing in the mid lane. As we can take just a few moments to look at the CS, we can see top lane is pretty dominated by GG Denied. That's not too unexpected for someone like a lane bully in Teemo. A jungle as well. Kid Corito's been Sean hasn't been getting a lot rather low farm in the mid lane, but bottom lane, it's almost double your CS for the Kog'Maw, who is the win condition, or who is normally the win condition of a team like this. Might not be now that Royal's so fed. So firing on all cylinders, RC with what they need to do to win.
Yeah, I feel like because Mordekaiser's so far ahead, he's so good at singling out any champion in team fights, and even if Kai'Sa were to get ahead and build QSS, I think this Royal is going to be able to terrorize the backline of JBB. So at this point, Kog'Maw doesn't even really need to get that much of a substantial lead. As long as Kog'Maw is even just staying even with Kai'Sa, it should be a very sure win for CR here. But with that being said, they look to be dominating this lane a bit, and the Kog'Maw is up 25 CS, 28 CS, almost 30. So it's gonna be very tough for JBB to come back from this.
Blastcone's available. Kid Kurito's going over the wall, but there's going to be so much damage out of from the Kog'Maw. Cleanse comes down, also comes down, has to flash out from Kai'Sa. Bahuoka's going to go down. Heal comes down by Harley, and now he's going on to Saknat. He's going to go with the Cathian Rain. That's what we call optimal use of the passive, with a double kill by Murphy. Once Kid Kurito chasing down, and he does get that. Turning the gank around and getting a double kill. They both went on to Murphy. Not what you want, but with a champion like Lulu, the more gold he gets, he just puts that gold right into Kog'Maw. That's still a huge win for Casual Reform.
Yeah, this and both of the kills from JBB's side went on to the Trundle, so not optimal for them either. So I would say that was still pretty even. I think JBB has realized they just need to try and put all their effort into getting their Kai'Sa into hyper carry status, but it's going to be very hard, as you saw there.
Yep, and we see now, even, we didn't mention it earlier, but CR did end up getting a first Mountain Drag, which is going to give them some extra beefy stats on their already beefy team. As well now, they got the first Rift Herald, so they should be able, it looks like they're probably going to drop it mid now. The Bird Main does have teleport, so you can try and stop it, but it's going to be a lot of plates for the for Royal, who's already so.
Yeah, this Royal on this Mordekaiser, as it stands right now, looks pretty ungankable to me.
As Daniel goes in, lands the Gnar, lands everything, pushes the flash out. The Q comes down, and one more
all the analysts wrong.
Daniel. Oh my goodness, Daniel showing that he's not the weak side top laner, he's the strongest side top laner, taking out this best member of JBB in a solo kill, and that might just put the seal in the coffin for the side of JBB. Rift Herald goes mid as well, gonna get some extra stacks. Oh no! Well played by Kid Kurito into Birdman to take it out before it crashed.
Yeah, I think at this point JBB are like, all right, we got to draft seriously next game.
Yes. Bahuoto goes in. They're trying to get a pick on Murphy, but Harley's just hitting away. Wild Growth goes down onto himself, stalling. Bahuoto goes down. Now it's 2v1 for Saknat, and there's no way out of this. Harley, Letho Tempo is proc, Cathian Rain is proc, Shield goes down, and it's a free kill. And Royal, even in the mid lane, is almost one-shots him. With that, the Birdman goes back and flashes the other way. Sean's there as well, though. Elastic Slingshot's gonna go wide. Ignite's gonna go down onto Birdman. He's gonna pop him into his passive. 2v1 now. The Let's Bounce pops out. The Birdman going low. Royal, but so tanky, does so much damage. Royal, there's no killing him, but he kills everyone else. 2 more kills for the side of CR, and that's another huge win. 12-3, 5k gold lead at 10 minutes. CR has shown up, and they're shown up big.
Yeah, CR is definitely proving every analyst prediction and thought completely wrong. We talked about Daniel not being able to carry, being a weak side top laner, and there he is solo killing that ego pick of Teemo. We talked about how Royal has a very small champ pool. He had, what was it, 4 bans on him, and they forgot to ban his Mordekaiser, and look at him now, 6-0.
Yeah. He is going as well the new Riftmaker, which is interesting. I don't think we've seen him build that item before, but I guess with the buffs, he's feeling it's appropriate.
Yeah. Royals in the MEL Season 2, and I think even Season 1, when he was playing this, Mordekaiser was like a 100% ban against him, or it was for sure loss. And I guess he hasn't really pulled it out recently. I know he mentioned near the start of the season that Mordekaiser mid isn't as strong, it's harder to pull off, but he's pulling it off really well. And against the signature pick of Birdman that he hasn't been able to get, he finally got it. However, it doesn't seem to be working out well for him against this Mordekaiser.
Yeah, and we even see there JBB trying their best. They got the mid laner jungle to roam, but great map awareness by Daniel. Doesn't go for the CS, stays back into dodging the pillar there as well. So Daniel not even giving up his lead, and it's going to mean a free Dragon as well. So it's going to be double Drake at 13 minutes. That'll mean Soul will spawn at about 23, 24 minutes. Someone could tell me if they could do math, and it is going to be Ocean Soul for the side of CR to pick up. It's going to be absolutely huge on this Protect the Cognitive.
Yeah, and when you have a fed Mordekaiser on your team, objectives like Drakes and Barons and all that is going to be super simple because Mordekaiser can just ult the Trundle, and then there's no way for him to even steal it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's, yeah, off the back of this Mordekaiser.
Look
Yeah,
at the
off the-
Harley damage buffed by Kog'Maw. Oh my goodness, that was one more auto and that would have been it. Good patience by Sacknut. Cannot
not
shoot.
flash or heal there.
Yeah, exactly. To not flash or heal. Very good patience, but even still, they're going to get the plates. Kid Doritos down here now, but Sean and Royal are both hovering. They should know Sean was here. He did walk over a ward, yeah, so they're not going to go aggressive on it. Sean's going to continue to wait there, but that was what? 4 plates to the side of CR on Kog'Maw and soon to be the tower. That's just about as close as disaster as you can get. As they're actually going on to Harley, Wild Growth comes down, and here comes Sean with the less bounce going. Harley's being taken out. There's a flank in my way. Bahuoto goes down. Sean is in the middle. They're going. Excuse me. Sacknut's trying his best to go on to Murphy, but he's not going to be able to make it. Unfortunately, Sean is going to go down with his pop. It looks like Murphy's getting out, though. The Birdman comes. It's not going to be enough. So a little bit back, but that does mean they did lose the bot tower, and it looks like they're going to lose the mid tower as well.
I would have liked to see Daniel teleport into that fight, honestly. I feel like that fight went on for long enough that he could have backed up to his tower and pulled off a teleport, and Teemo can't follow because he has Ignite. And especially when that Zac fell and the blobs came out, Sacknut was about half HP. If Daniel just teleported on one of those to keep the Zac alive and then pull off a counter gauge 2v2, I think that could have went really, really well for CR, but still not terrible. They didn't get... right now, as long as CR doesn't give over that Mordekaiser shutdown, it's going to be smooth sailing for them pretty much no matter what.
Yeah. See here, in terms of first items, the Wit's End was picked up first by Kog'Maw. Not something you normally see, but absolutely an underrated buy. He's got Lulu for additional support, but there's so much magic damage. Leona's almost all magic damage. Crisis 30%. Even Trundle, Anivia all magic damage. Even Trundle has a good percentage magic damage, so he's going to be incredibly tanky on top of doing so much damage. This Kog'Maw hasn't even got to his Kraken Slayer yet. Once that item is done, everyone on JBB is getting to the kill.
Yeah, that the Lulu Kog'Maw is just that classic hyper carry bot lane, and we know that Harley and Murphy are able to pull it off well.
They're going in on him. Harley gets stunned up, flashes the solar flare. Hit Credo still going to chase, but now that Murphy's here, you've got the speed up with the Shurelya's Reverie, and they aren't able to get much. The Birdman is forced to back. There's no TP available, but they are able to crucially get that flash from the Kog'Maw. That's going to be on them to abuse for the next few minutes. He's going to be very weak without the flashes. GG denied. Flashing under tower with the Ignite is going to be able to get the kill onto Daniel. But Sean's here now. He knows he has no sums. The Let's Bounce goes down, and GG denied is ticking down. He's going to be taken out as well. We saw Kid Tweedo on the map was looking to intervene. Harley and Murphy showed up, made him rethink his decisions, and now it's going to be the second Rift Herald going over to the side of CR.
Yeah, this game is was already on the trajectory of CR taking it over, and it's starting to look hard to come back from. Like, even harder. It's starting to look lost, basically, is what I'm saying. CR is just really far ahead. The Mordekaiser's still farming, still out CSing Anivia on top of having 6 kills on the Anivia. And that's going to pretty much be almost impossible to stop, especially with this Kog'Maw Lulu getting ahead. The Kog'Maw has 2 kills, is up 42 CS. It's going to be really hard to really do anything about this team comp because they also scale really well with that Kog'Maw Lulu. And so there isn't much that JBB can hope for other than hoping that CR just completely throws the game somehow.
Yeah, this would take some This would take some throwing in the likes of dodgeball, Ben Stiller movie, or the Ben Stiller Stiller movie with I don't remember who the other character was, but based off of the true story, this would take some extreme throwing. Was the joke that I was trying to make before my own conscience interrupted me as a red gets handed over to Harley here. Yeah, this is an almost insurmountable lead for JBB as Kid Corito looks to face check the dragon, but all he checks is 5 other members doing it. Daniel already in position, doesn't even need to blow the TP as it is down, and that's going to be sole point for the side uh, of Casual Reformed. And Ocean Soul is just about the worst thing that you could see going up against the Protect the Kog'Maw team.
Oh
They've
no.
got so much front line. They've got you can't even dive the Kog'Maw because it's Kog'Maw Lulu who have Ocean Soul. This is gonna be do or die for the next dragon. CR just put JBB on about a 5 minute 5 minute timer, and if they aren't able to get some serious advantage and contest the strike in that time, that's gonna be game.
Yeah, it's really like they either got to fight now or they have to fight at Dragon. At Dragon's going to be difficult because, like I mentioned, Mordekaiser can just take their jungler out of the game. And being this far ahead, he's going to be winning that 1v1 very, very easily. And then he's going to come out of the ult with those extra protections and just run over that team fight. So that's not a very good option for them. However, they don't have any good options left. So maybe that's what they'll try. Maybe they'll try to force fight now. It's really hard because it seems like no matter what JBB does at this point, they're still at the disadvantage.
Yeah, we see now Rift Trail's going down with Hartley hitting. It does look like JBB's looking to contest it, but they're not. Rift Trail down in time. So this is going to be tier 2 middle tower taken down. We see even Royal on the bot lane is going to be pushing up with Daniel in the top lane. A nice 1-3-1. Nice hit. Really textbook, not risking anything stupid. Just getting vision, pushing lanes, pushing your advantage. This is very, very methodical and very well played.
Yeah, the CR's playing it smart. I feel like a lot of these games that we see in this whole league get decided like very early on. Like we saw as soon as that Mordekaiser got those 2 early kills in the double buffs, it was pretty much over from there. The only time games that aren't decided in those first few minutes is usually because of some type of throw. I feel like we've always seen something go on where someone gets 3 early kills and either they just keep running over the game or there's a late game throw. And I feel like CR are very, very disciplined. That's one thing that you can see about their team is that they're always on the same page with each other and they're very patient, very disciplined players. So they know how to stick to the game plan. And we see this Mordekaiser still hasn't died, 6-0, 150 CS at 21 minutes. And they're going to play the game so that they can ensure that they're going to win. They're not going to go for anything crazy, anything they don't need to. They're just going to keep farming, keep pushing these waves, getting turrets until that soul point comes up. Then they're going to fight that, probably going to win that, and they're not going to be making any mistakes because they're just too eager to fight or they're worried or anything like that. They're disciplined players and they're just going to stick to the game plan.
Yeah, I kind of felt like you were subtweeting yourself a little bit when you said, some teams get some leads and they somehow just throw it. But
Well, yeah, okay. You could use me as an example of throwing leads because when I talked about a team of disciplined players, Scoop City was definitely the opposite of that. Mainly due to me because I I found 4 players that will just listen to whatever I say. So when I say, "Yeah, let's fight here," we do it.
there you go. All right,
That's
we
the
see
secret
now.
comms exposed.
We see now CR is setting up for Baron. GG denied is a little bit pushed out, but it doesn't look like he's going to be punished. Kid Fritos, or Sean just clearing some pink wards, so is Murphy. Very good vision control. We see both the Birdman and Daniel do have TP for this fight, so it is going to be a quick 5v5, but if CR decides to just pop the Baron, what does JBB do? They're so far behind they can't take a fight. It'd be so easy for CR to hit the floor with them. It looks like it is going to be the tank build on the Kog'Maw that we heard. I believe it was Bog talking on the analyst desk. He does have that Warden's Mail. I'm guessing that's building into the Randuins, but I'm not sure. Do you know anything about this solo queue tank Kog'Maw build?
Honestly, no idea.
All right.
I'm not an AUC player. I'm a Samira player. There's a difference. So
No, that's fair. That's fair.
yeah, I don't really know about all that.
Oh,
But it looks like this is gonna be an easy pick.
Royal going on to Bahuoto. Bahuoto face checking. I guess didn't think they'd be so far rushed. Royal flashes forward to get the ignite. As Kid Kurido's in the backline, Sean is gonna take him on, but Royal is so far deep. He does have the ult on. He isn't gonna be able to
He
take
doesn't
a
have
denied.
Zhonya's.
That is a huge kill for GG denied, but now it's Harley. He does so much damage. Sean is in. He's gonna go into his passive, but a flash of Gnar by Daniel's gonna pop the Amidia. Harley now going on to GG denied. The Birdman falls, and now it's just Sacknut left. Flash slow by Murphy's gonna seal the deal. Sacknut though is going under tower. They're chasing Sacknut so deep, and they're not gonna get out. Sean lives. Murphy's flashes his level 7 mastery, well deserved. That's the Ocean Soul for CR, and that's probably the game.
Yeah, at this point, like I know how this feels from the player perspective. It feels really bad because your team's probably considering just FFing, and there's some people like, no, let's play it out, because the team you're going against, like, they either scale evenly or outscale you. They're already so far ahead. There really isn't much you can do. Like, at this point, all you can really do is just try to go for these, like, 1 in a million plays. Like, try to steal Baron, like, try to get some crazy team fight off, and just hope for the best, even though it's very likely that it won't work out. So it's very hard to be playing from this position. With that being said, they did get that big shutdown for Mordekaiser. I do think Royal got a little too excited there. He got the kill on Leona, but he kept going on the Teemo. He probably could have just turned onto the Trundle and like ulted the Trundle off of his backline, killed him, and then continued the team fight. But it still worked out. They still managed to win the team fight without the Mordekaiser being there, so that's good. And that shows that once you get past Mordekaiser, you still have to worry about Kog'Maw, who is currently tearing through the team.
2v1ing Harley is huge, as GG Denied is going to do his best to stop this top lane. But we even see now, Harley and Murphy, despite the fact they almost died, are back at full health because of this Ocean Soul. They're going for the Baron now. I just really hope JBB has some vodka, some first session risks, because they are going to need to make a Hail Mary play if they want to come back from this game. As the Baron gets taken down by CR, Bahuoto is going to do what he can, throw out the solar throw, but it's not going to be enough. There was no smite on Sean, so a little bit risky there, but it doesn't matter. They're going to end up securing the Baron in the end, and that just might be the Doom itself. See now Royal going for revenge on GG Denied, I think. Might be a little bit annoyed that he got the kill before, but the hand is going to miss, so GG Denied is going to be able to do his best to defend this tier 1 tower in the top lane.
Not sure if he even can, honestly. Royal could actually probably just like ult the Teemo and walk away, because then he can't hit the minions and just let them take the tower. He could have done that, but yeah, he's gonna save his ultimate. That would have been pretty hilarious. Although I'm not sure if they'll. I think they'll lose their Baron
now.
buff.
This Kog'Maw has a Randuin's. Does he know that? Does he know that he's building tank on it? He's still one-shotting the
He knows it. He knows it, but his autos don't.
I see. As Kid Kurido tries to push something onto Murphy, the Birdman's gonna have to flash out of the elastic slingshot. But look at Harley. He's frontlining as Kog'Maw. He's so far ahead. Kog'Maw does have the ability to do that. Sean getting kills on the side. Is GG Denied trying his best, but he does no damage. Even now, Harley diving him under tower. He's so tanky with this Lulu, with this Randuin. He's just running at the Royal, the most fed member of the game, doesn't even have to be there. It's 3 down for the side of JBB, and they're looking to end the game. Zenith Blade goes down, but he's just going to get blown up right away. Kid Kurido's doing his best, but he gets taken down. That's the ace for CR. Those are the Nexus turrets falling. That's game 1 going towards CR.